So as I said, this one is about emphasis. It's a series of coffee sessions that we have on 4 infrastructure. Today, we will focus on the infrastructure on emphasis. A little bit of information on the 2 hosts that we have in that coffee series. The first one is the project PHENET, which is a Horizon Europe project from the InfraTech pillar, focusing on technology development for infrastructures. And we aim at, or we deal with phenotyping and EnviroTyping, aiming to optimizing crop performance under environmental stress, developing tools to monitor plant environment interactions, and aid agroecological transition. This project has 4 partnering high-class European infrastructures. The emphasis one, the ENRIC one, ELTA one, and the Elixir one. And each of them has a single coffee session webinar, which is free, where we will provide you with some further information on this infrastructure. So we have seen Elixir already last week. We hear about emphasis today, and we will hear about ENRIC on Thursday and on ELTA on Monday next week. So you can still register for the 2 upcoming seminars, and you will get some further information on those during our webinar session. What challenges do we address in PHENET? Well, PHENET deals in a wider scope on climate change and the resulting biodiversity losses, the food security challenge, and the challenge of reducing pesticides, soil degradation. And by doing so, we want to contribute to the strategy of agroecology. In concrete terms, PHENET works towards and asks for more understanding on specific aspects. The one being on the interaction of plants and an environment, like plant and complex canopies, pathogens, biotic and abiotic interaction. And secondly, more understanding on variables, spatially and temporally, from field to field and year to year. And by that, we work towards applications in breeding pathways for future genotypes, and we work towards integrating innovative agricultural practices like intercropping, like agroforestry, including the application of very latest technologies. The second co-host of our webinar series is the International Plant Phenotyping Network, which aims to facilitate and promote interaction between the plant phenotyping practitioners worldwide in order to integrate the regional and globally fragmented activities, enable exchange of knowledge, information, and expertise, address technology development and implementation, and advise decision makers on state-of-the-art and future opportunities and limits. So this network works on a global level and brings together researchers, developers, users from academia and industry, with further information to be found on the website of the network. What do we aim at today in that very session? Well, first of all, we want to inform the community. And we want to share information about phenotyping and EnviroTyping capacity available through the emphasis infrastructure participating in the PHENET project. While doing so, we want to learn and discuss with Enric Bellex-Boix and Roland Pieruschka, our 2 presenters for today, who will help us to explore how emphasis services can benefit our community. And thirdly, for those of you being directly active in the PHENET project, this is already on encouraging you to consider how PHENET technologies could be integrated into the emphasis service portfolio, which is one of the bigger aims that we have with the PHENET project. A couple of information on our speakers today. So first, we have Enric Bellex-Boix. Enric Bellex-Boix holds a Bachelor of Science in Biology, and he also holds a Master in Management. He held various positions at the University of Ghent, at the French National Research Institute for Agriculture, Food and Environment, and he has managed EU-funded, European Commission-funded research projects on plant issues with INRA-A and INRA transfer. And he has joined the Emphasis Coordination Office in Ghent, Belgium at WIB in May this year. Roland Pieruschka, he's a plant scientist by training and holds a PhD in plant sciences. And he's been with the Research Center in Jülich for quite a while, for over a decade by now. And he has been involved for almost a decade in European-wide infrastructure projects naming some of them: EPPN 2020, then the emphasis coordination, preparation and implementation projects, and currently involved in projects like AgroSolve, Microbes for Climate, and also in PHENET. So without further ado, I would like then to lead over and provide the floor to Enric, who will start informing us about emphasis. Enric, the floor is yours, please. Okay, there we go. Thanks, Enric. Perfect.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much for the opportunity to present emphasis today. So emphasis is the European infrastructure for multi-scale plant phenotyping and simulation for food security in a changing climate. The mission of emphasis is to facilitate multi-scale plant phenotyping with a long-term perspective by establishing a European research infrastructure and by providing access to facilities, services, and resources. That will be achieved by setting up an international organization approved by the EC and coordinated from Belgium, running on financial contributions from its country member states. Today, emphasis are 11 countries that support the development of this initiative within what is called the Interim General Assembly, with ministry and scientific representatives. And there are also 15 additional countries which are interested in plant phenotyping and are supporting emphasis. So the users of emphasis are the plant phenotyping community, researchers from academia and industry, funders, policymakers, and the public in general. Emphasis has performed a landscape analysis of the existing plant phenotyping facilities across Europe, and thus that has led to the creation of a database and a map where more than 200 installations, their services, and their expertise are gathered. Here you have a screenshot of the map, how it's presented the information. And if you are interested in this database and map, you can check more information on the website. The link is below. So this work has also led to the identification of several types of physical and virtual facilities. So emphasis will have physical facilities in which are controlled conditions, intensive field and lean field facilities, and also virtual facilities in which deal with data and computation. Those are tools and services enabling interoperability of data between different databases. Into a bit more of details, the control condition facilities are mainly greenhouses and growth chambers with a high level of automation. They facilitate the study of plant traits in response to well-defined environments, and typically they consist of between 100 and 1,000 plants. Here you have some images of these facilities. Intensive field facilities are field sites which enable environmental simulations. They are highly equipped installations for accurate monitoring of both plant phenotype and environment, and they allow high quality observations and measurements. The field facilities are field sites which are equipped with temporary portable phenotyping equipment for environmental monitoring with ground-based or airborne sensing systems. They enable efficient phenotyping for breeding, but not only, and also the formation of field networks allow the assessment of genotypes along climatic gradients. Regarding the information system facilities, those are virtual facilities for managing and enabling fair access to phenotyping data, computational data analysis, and modeling to perform simulations of plant growth and to derive crop predictions. So Emphasis aims to provide a portfolio of services. Here you have the 6 main categories of services that Emphasis will provide. And I'll go which are the user access. Another one is around phenotyping practices, industry engagement, data, communication, and training and education. So regarding the user access, the aim is to facilitate access of users to the installations. And for that, Emphasis will provide access to installations through specific goals. The applications will be evaluated for assessment of scientific and technological value and its impacts. Emphasis will also maintain an online repository of available facilities. Regarding advancing phenotyping practices, the aim is to develop and implement methods and tools for phenotyping workflow. And for that, Emphasis will coordinate the development of state-of-the-art methods and tools. Will also facilitate access to software tools and will support the deployment of AI solutions. Emphasis will also encourage the use of common procedures and technologies and will introduce a model finder offering a selection of statistical, process, and machine-based models. Regarding data, the aim of Emphasis is to establish fair data principles and a European information system. And for that, Emphasis will streamline data management practices based on fair principles. Will identify priorities and will provide guidance on data storage, visualization, and navigation. Will also propose a standardized language for data exchange and will facilitate data use in modeling and will promote long-term publications in data repositories and access via data finder tools. Regarding the training and education, the aim is to develop and implement a range of training activities. And for that, Emphasis will continuously assess the needs and expectations of users on education and training. And we'll also run an array of opportunities which include training, workshops, courses, educational programs, online contents, and meetings. Relating to that, we are currently running a survey on training needs. So if you want to participate, please scan the QR code which is on the slide, and you will be directed to a questionnaire where you can provide your input. Regarding the engagement of industry, Emphasis aims to facilitate knowledge and technology transfer. And for that, Emphasis will create an industry forum to exchange with different categories of companies, such as technology providers, service providers, or seed companies. And finally, for communication, the aim is to engage with all relevant stakeholders in a research infrastructure environment. For that, Emphasis will inform and will promote the engagement of all stakeholders via a central website, newsletters, social media, online forums, and events management. Emphasis will also organize annual meetings to inform about achievements, to collect users' needs, and discuss about future developments. If you want to have more information about Emphasis, you can contact us using this email address. You can also check the information on our website, and you can follow us on social media. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Enric, for this very comprehensive and insightful overview about Emphasis. Without further ado, I would then leave the floor to Roland. And while saying that, just remember if you have any questions, just feel free to paste them into the chat, and then we will pick it up after the presentation of Roland. Roland, please, the floor is yours.
Yes, thanks, Sven, for the nice introduction. So, I would like to continue where Enric basically he presented a general overview of emphasis, and I would like to focus on some projects that provide actually services to the community. Let me start with some redundancies. You've seen this table, and you've seen also a number of pictures of facilities that emphasis includes in controlled environment under field conditions. And what I would like to focus on is the user access, one of the services that Enric was also talking about. And so the basic idea would be this infrastructure projects. They are projects that provide services like AgroServe. AgroServe deals with sustainable and resilient agriculture and agroecological transition. And the other project would be Microbes for Climate, which is microbial services addressing climate change risk for biodiversity and agriculture. And this is complemented by PHENET. So Sven already introduced PHENET, and they are not unconnected. So the basic idea is that AgroServe and Microbes for Climate are currently providing services, and PHENET in this sense would also develop services for the next generation. So the basic idea is developing tools and methods for the next generation of services that would be provided within with the future. You can see that the projects are running already for a couple of years, so 1 or 2 years. There is a substantial budget, and there is also a lot of opportunities for you as a potential users to use those services. So let me start then with AgroServe. So AgroServe, sustainable agriculture and agroecological transition is the kind of the keyword. So the idea is to provide cross-disciplinary access to services, in the end to address resilient, sustainable agriculture, to foster agroecological transition. There is a lot of services from many different research infrastructures. There are 70 plus different partners, 12 research infrastructures that cover many different disciplines, from molecule, microorganisms, plants, animal ecosystems, up to society. So I will not go through the single research infrastructures that are involved there. You can, but you can find all the services described in a catalog of services, and in total, they provide a pretty comprehensive set of services. When you look closer, there is a toolbox of services from molecule to ecosystems, including also society, and all the relevant climatic regions in Europe are covered. There was in AgroServe already a first call that is resulted in 20 projects that currently have been implemented. The second call was closed recently with 38 projects that are under evaluation, and something that's very relevant for you. The third call has been just opened. It is supposed to be opened either today or the latest by the end of this week. So stay tuned, and please check on the website when the project is open. You can apply and benefit from the wide set of services that are available for the community. This is complemented also by Microbes for Climate, so microbial services addressing climate change, biodiversity, agricultural, forestry ecosystems, with 5 different research infrastructures. The basic idea is more to enable curiosity-driven, cross-disciplinary research to address terrestrial ecosystems. Agriculture and forestry is included. As in AgroServe, there is a toolbox of services around plant, microbes, environment. So basically bridging the scales between microbes, soils, plants, environment, also with a number of partners, and quite a substantial set of different services that are available for access for you. The first call will be launched most likely in early 2025. So as for AgroServe, please stay tuned. You can also look on the Emphasis website. You should also find the announcement there, and we are happy to receive your applications. So how does it how does it work? Very briefly, one slide on how to apply. So in principle, you find on the Microbes for Climate and AgroServe websites a catalog of services with a description. There are some pictures, but also a description the services or the facilities. You can read the description and see if this is something that's relevant for you. Select the services and apply for access. The access is really very straightforward. It's a free access, so basically the costs for the access are covered by the Commission. The focus is on users from the European Union and associated countries. So, and 20% of the capacity will be available also for users from outside of the EU. The access is supposed to be transnational. So the basic idea is that you cross a border, that you are not supposed to do your experiments in your own country, but build a network, collaborate within your colleagues in different countries. You are supposed to be eligible to disseminate the results. Exception is SMEs. SMEs do not have to if they don't want to. And important in this sense is also feasibility. So technical scientific feasibility and cross-disciplinarity. Those are kind of a keywords that we are quite often trying to. So technical scientific feasibility is really important. If projects are not feasible, then obviously they cannot be implemented. But we also do not want to start an application or start the evaluation of those proposals. And we also put a lot of effort on cross-disciplinarity. In this sense, we bring a number of research infrastructures, huge amount of different beneficiaries and partners into the projects. And the goal is to stimulate cross-disciplinary interaction. And the idea is also from you that you apply to multiple services within one application. For this application, there are regular calls for access. As mentioned, the AgroServe call for access is supposed to be launched the latest by the end of this week. So you find all this eligibility criteria there, which are in the end rather straightforward. You can apply and you can submit, in the end, once more, a feasible application. All applications will be evaluated by an external independent reviewer panel. And once they are positively evaluated, you can implement your experiments, you receive the data, get your publication, and or let me say it, even get your Nature publications and improve your publication record. And as such, happy to take questions.